Hello, people. It's a joy to come your way again. I hope you are doing well and you have been tremendously blessed by the last episode on friendship in marriage. Thank you for all the testimonies. They blessed us, and we look forward to hearing more from you. Thanks for sharing it, and I believe that we would do more to bless you in the coming years. This noon, I come your way with another subject, and that is the subject of suspicion in marriage. I know this will make you smile. Suspicion in marriage is a strong one. And to start with, I tried to look at the dictionary for the meaning of the word at all. And listen to what Webster said. It said, is the act of suspecting something wrong without proof or on slight evidence. Wow. You don't have a proof to the thing, yet you're suspecting it. Or sometimes maybe on very slight evidence, then you make a very huge conclusion. Interesting. Then I also found a quote by Lausanne. And Lausanne said that to be suspicious is not a fault, but to be suspicious all the time without coming to conclusion is a defect. I hope you got that. He said, to be suspicious is not a fault, but to be suspicious all the time without coming to conclusion is a defect. So meaning that suspicion in its general terms is not evil. But when it becomes a daily mindset of the couple or the friends or the parent and child, then it is dangerous for the general health of that relationship. And today we are looking at it in the context of marriage. When two people live together and suspicion becomes a daily chore they undertake. According to our code, it is not evil to exercise a little amount of suspicion in the marriage. It is not, because the man is not from your mother, the woman is not from your mother. You are coming from two different places and you are living under the same roof as husband and wife. So it may not be everything that you will know about your spouse before you settle down in marriage. So a little amount of suspicion can help the couple shape themselves depending on the type of marriage they want to build. If your spouse is acting in a way and you suspect something out of that action, you bring it to his knowledge or you bring it to her knowledge, and the person will readjust. If you do that, you have shaping the person. You are helping him or her not to lose guard. At least you will be putting in some checks and balances to help the relationship to grow. So in a little form, it's not bad at all. By and large, it will also help us to know how we can pray for our spouses. Maybe they have a weakness they themselves don't know. It may be an unknown window to them. At the end of the day, you can help them. So it is not evil in its sense. But when you do it daily, when it becomes a daily mindset, when it becomes a daily routine, when it becomes a daily chore, then we are heading the marriage into chaos. Lausanne said, to be suspicious is not a fault, but to be suspicious all the time, the emphasis is on all the time, without coming into conclusion, is a defect. Where it becomes a non-stop action, where you suspect every move of your partner. Your partner says, I'm going to the bus stop to buy something. And in your head, you have begun to think, oh, I'm sure that there is this young lady who sells across there. I'm sure he's going there to buy because he wants to see that young woman. By the time your wife is saying that, I want to go and visit my family, you're like, no, I think this young man who lives in that neighborhood, I'm sure she wants to go there so that she can get to talk with that young man. By the time your wife is on the phone, you are thinking, who is she talking to? I'm sure that this person, from the way it is going, this person might be interested in my wife. You are getting all worked up for nothing. By the time your wife puts on a certain perfume, by the time your husband wears a particular shirt, you're like, oh no, I think maybe he's going somewhere to meet somebody, and that is why, and he doesn't want me to know. That is why he's wearing this particular shirt. Hey, as for this perfume my wife is wearing, she never wears it when we are together. I'm sure she might have found a brand new person. We do this so much so that we even take it out of our homes. A wife and a husband goes to a party. The man probably might have gotten up meeting old friends, and maybe another young man came to your wife's table and begin to engage her. Common talk. And you stand behind and you are beginning to get all worked up, all aggressive, wishing you could strangle the person, because from the look on his face, you are thinking, I'm sure he's proposing something bad to my wife. Relax. Suspicion without conclusion is a defect. We overly do it until we become so paranoid. And paranoia is a disorder. When we allow suspicion to overrule the joy and health of the marriage, then we are not helping ourselves. Suspicion is the worst possible crisis which can push a couple into failure. If we give room to it in our marital relationship, then we are calling for doom. You always be sad. There is always tension in the marriage. You don't feel like mingling with anybody. Probably someone you are supposed to link up with for a business, because you know that your husband or your wife has problem with suspicion. he or she will not see the good aspect of what will come out of that relationship, that business relationship. All they have in their heart is being all worked up and jealous and suspecting that this man who is going to help my wife do this particular business will end up dating my wife or sleeping with my wife, etc. Sometimes people will think, why are you saying some of these things? But beloved, these are the very things that are going on in our matrimonial homes. And so some couples are not able to advance beyond their level because their spouses have suspected everyone that would have helped them outside their home. Suspicion is a destructive element. It has nothing good to offer than unnecessary heartaches, unnecessary headaches. Stress levels are going up. Stress levels are going up by the day. People are shutting down in their brains. They can't even think because they are so depressed. They are so frustrated because every move they make, their partners will read a bad meaning. Their wives will read a negative meaning. How do we grow? How does love exist if we nurture evil over good? It is impossible. Beloved, if you do not understand an action your spouse is taking, ask them. Ask them. If they are talking to a particular person and you are not comfortable, approach your spouse and ask them, what is it about this person? Who is she? Who is he? At least it will bring you some answers. It will give you some relief. It is better than sitting down and reading meanings into their actions that are not even true. Suspicion have sent a lot of women down the grave. Suspicion have sent a lot of men down this earth when they had potentials, when they were supposed to make a certain impact in their world. Yet, suspicion led them to do things they were not supposed to do. That suspicion you are exhibiting, watch it before it becomes the same flame that will burn your 10 fingers. What can you do to come out of this if you have it as a problem? Discuss your fears. Whatever you see that you think is a problem, that arouses that suspicion in you, that makes you paranoid, discuss it. Ask questions. Talk to your partner about it. Let them understand that this particular behavior scares you or it arouses suspicion within you. If you come at your spouse humbly with some of these things, I am sure that they will be ever ready to give you explanations. 2, forgive your spouse. In case he or she has done something in the past which arouses your insecurities or which arouses that suspicion in you, learn to forgive them. Because you know what? You don't know when the tables may turn, that it will be that you did the same thing against him like he has also done to you in the past. You may never know. So forgive them. Forgive them. Forgive your spouse in that case. Thirdly, this is one of the tools that I empower every husband and wife to employ. That is the tool of objectivity. Live in objectivity. Don't be subjective. Don't read negative meanings into everything you see around your spouse. Because of this perfume I smell in your car, I'm sure you picked up a girl in your car. Oh, please. If you live that way, if you live like that, you are only igniting negative energy. You can't use it for anything than destruction. Be objective. Even if you see your spouse lying in one bed with an opposite sex, don't conclude. Take your time. There may be a better meaning to what you see. Once upon a time, I heard a very funny story that a young woman asked the domestic help to go out and make a call. Those days when people don't carry mobile phones, so you have to go to a comm center. And he went to call the boss, that is the woman's husband. And when she went and came back, she told the madam, I have not been able to reach my boss because a young woman keep picking the call. And the madam was so upset. This man, he will kill me. I am sure that he's seeing a young lady in town. That is why he is doing this to me. That is why he's not even coming home early. This woman picked a quarrel with the husband, and it ended up in divorce. But when she was leaving, she left with the domestic help. So one day it dawned on her to ask her domestic help. So that lady, you heard the voice. Was she speaking English or was she speaking our dialect? She said it was English, madam. And he said, what was she saying to you? He said, this number you are calling cannot be reached at this moment. And the madam said, what? Was that what the lady told you? She said, yes. He said, then that is an automated machine. He said, madam, it's a woman. Then the lady realized the fool she has made out of herself. My dear, stop suspicion. Overly suspecting everything and reading meaning into every action is not good for your health. Again, give it to God in prayer. When you have problems with suspicion, give it to the Lord in prayer. Because sometimes it is not normal. After all, there is no proof to all the things you are even suspecting. So sometimes we need God to help us to come out of this negative stuff. If it is a disorder, you need to see a clinical psychologist. Or maybe give yourself some relaxation therapy. It helps. Where you can sit down quietly, breathe in and out. I wish I would be able to do it here for you. But you can look for it. What relaxation therapy is. Give yourself some treats. When we do this over and over again, it can help us stabilize. Lastly, you need the Holy Spirit. If you know that you have a challenge in your marriage because of suspicion, you need the help of the Holy Spirit. I have come to know him, and he's been of tremendous help to me in my marriage. He is the Spirit of love. Bible says that he is the one that takes us into the deep things. He makes groanings and intercession on our behalf. So when you can't help yourself, he is ready, more than ready, to help you. If you invite him into your home, he will help you deal with this cancer. And your marriage will be an enjoyable one. My darling, don't kill your marriage. Do everything you can to grow it. Do everything you can to keep it. Because you know what? That very thing God has put in your hand as a husband, that very thing God has put in your hand as a wife that you don't cherish, another would have it and cherish it, and you would regret you gave it up. I believe you're making up your mind today. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord cause his face to shine upon your marriage and give you peace. May the Lord teach you the deep things that can help you to be a better spouse. I love you, and I will see you again next time. Shalom.